Today we're going to be talking about the rule joint. And what a rule joint does, it makes a decorative edge around your table, and it also allows for a folding leaf to be raised and lowered. It takes two router bits to do this, a cove bit and a roundover bit. The first setup in making the rule joint is with the roundover bit. First, we've got to set up our router to accept that bit, and now we'll chuck the 1/2 inch roundover bit in our router. To set up your router bit, you need a steel rule. Some steel rules have measurements on the end, which is really handy. Otherwise, you'll have to measure this way, but on the end like this, you can measure it right in. Set your depth at 3/16 and then lock your router in place. Now with the router bit set, what I like to do is test it out to make sure that the depth is the dimension that I set it at. And to do so, we take the same thickness of material as your tabletop. Ours happens to be 3/4 inch thick, and so what I've used here is some scrap MDF. And you'll need to have two pieces of MDF. One is for the guide bushing to run on, and the other is the tabletop itself. Now we just clamp this into position. Keeping the edges flush. Now we'll take the router and plug it in, and what we'll do is we'll make the test cut. Check your depth. If it's not exactly where you want it, you can now adjust your router. I happen to be right on the money. With our router bit already set now, what we got to do is route the profile on the top. And what we've done here, we've got the top and the leaf that's underneath, and that will run the guide bearing on that leaf. So we'll clamp that as we did our sample piece, make sure it's flush, and then we're getting ready to route. We've got the table top done. Now we're going to be doing the leaf. To do so, we're going to use a table router. What we've done here is chucked a cove bit into our router. Now we have to set the fence. To do so, we move the guard out of the way. We take a steel rule. We slide the fence over. The steel rule will go right on the bearing, and when it is just touching, then we tighten the fence into position. We slide the guard back over, and as before, we'll run a test in a scrap piece of wood to get a 5/32 inch shoulder on the edge. If you need to adjust, make your adjustments to 5/32. With our depth and fence set, what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and make our cut. With both pieces routed, what we want to do is slide them together and check the clearance. What you'll need is a 32nd of an inch clearance. This clearance is so the parts won't rub to rub the finish off. What works great for the 32nd of an inch clearance is a credit card. As you can see, the clearance is uniform all the way. With the reveal made now, this completes the rule joint.